Hi, Scott here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm listening to this audiobook right now by Joe Vitale called Zero Limits. And it's just incredible, the perspective that it puts on you. It puts on life, it sort of ties a lot of questions, a lot of things together. The questions that we all have, I think, as we try to progress in life and things seem to be so hard and they shouldn't be. What Zero Limits is all about, it's a Hawaiian mind cleansing technique called Ho'oponopono, something like that. Quite hard to pronounce, as you can tell. And what it's about is basically we were born free. We are born with a clear mind. We're born with no limitations, hence the name Zero Limits. That's our pure divine self. And of course, as we get older, we get programmed. Society, family, whatever there might be, and all these limitations are put on us. Basically, we put them on ourselves based on the memories that we have of the limitations. Now, what this Zero Limits is saying is that if we go back to our mind with no memories, then we can basically get what we want. We can basically have whatever we want because there's now no limitations put on us. So how do we do that? Well, that's a good question. So the first thing you have to do is you have to accept responsibility, full responsibility for everything that happens to you. That's a pretty tough one, right? Everything that happens to you, good and bad, you've got to accept full responsibility for. Because the only reason it's in your life is basically because your brain wants it, your subconscious wants it. If you didn't want it, it wouldn't be there. Now, it's very hard to believe that case when some horrible things happen in the world, but you just have to go with it, right? This is the theory behind it. And what he says then is, how do you get to zero limits or the zero state if you've got all these memories? What you do is you have to accept that you, without these limitations, is a pure love state. And when you are pure love, then you don't have any limitations. So there's a few things you've got to say to yourself when you're in this. Say you've got a bad situation you want to change, or something you want to manifest in your life. Anything that's bad there, that's stopping you, you have to recognise it. And then you've got to say, well, I love you. Then you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And then thank you. That's all you've got to do. And by doing that, you're breaking down all those blocks in there, which are basically stopping you from getting what you want. Because even if, say, somebody's annoying you, you think, well, I'm not controlling them, it's them who's annoying me. But of course, that's not really true, because you are your reality. Things that annoy you only annoy you because you react to them, right? They're only there, according to Ho'oponopono, they're only there because they're going to teach you something, or they're only there because you want them there, or because they're there for some kind of reason. So you've got to accept that you created them, you created that moment, you created that thought in them, whatever it might be. So you just say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And then you're clear in that state, and that situation will go away. Maybe it's something you've got to do a number of times, but you keep repeating it to yourself, and eventually you'll get what you want, the purest form of you. So you get exactly your zero limits, as they say. So, a really interesting thing to consider. If you, I suggest you get the book and read it if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's really a way of, I've always said that, firstly I've always said that there's a filter, you have a filter in you, right? And depending on what your filter is your view of the world. So my view of the world will be different than basically everybody else's, because we all have our own view of the world. It's all brought to us by experiences that we've had, the memories that we've got. So That's one important thing to consider there. Now, so the other thing is, we are always getting in our own way. You've probably heard me say it before a couple of times, right? We always make things harder than they need to be. If you get out of your own way and just trust in the universe, in the universal power, in your subconscious, whatever you want to call it, then you're manifesting things much quicker. So by doing this process, Ho'oponopono process, you're clearing these blockers from you. So any little blocker you have, you just cleared it. You move it by repeating, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. You're slowly erasing it from your memory, and therefore your blockers won't be there. Let's not get run over. So if your blockers aren't there, then of course you achieve things much faster. So yeah, so I definitely think if you're interested in that sort of thing, it's a real mindset perspective to have. The more I get into this, the more interesting I find it. So Zero Limits by Joe Vitale. Yeah, look it up. It's quite easy to get hold of, either in reading or audiobook. And I hope you found that useful. That's something I found very interesting. And I'll speak to you soon. Scott from Build My Lifestyle. Dream big, take lots of action. Speak to you soon. Take care.